Hey guys, and welcome to my 5-week update for this pregnancy, otherwise called the week I started to get scared. So I've been feeling really good. If you guys have watched my last update and the announcement video, I've been feeling really peaceful about this pregnancy. I've been feeling really centered. And on Sunday night, I was sitting on the sofa watching a show with my husband, and I said to him, with James's pregnancy, this is the week that we had our subchorionic hemorrhage on 5 weeks, 5 days. And with him, it was a really dramatic one. It was a lot of blood. I honestly thought I had lost him. I had blood that literally ran down my legs. I was wearing a dress. It was horrible. I haven't had a subchorionic hemorrhage with any of my other pregnancies, but I just kind of had it in the back of my mind, like enough to where I said it out loud. I said, if I start having bleeding this week, don't let me freak out on myself, because remember, we did this with James during this week. And he was like, okay, I'll remind you if it happens, but you're fine. You haven't had any spotting. I'm sure that it's not going to happen again, basically. I wake up on Monday morning. I was 5 weeks, 2 days. And when I went to pee first thing in the morning, I had some spotting. I would say it was spotting. It wasn't bleeding, but it was heavy spotting. It wasn't just like a couple of drops. I mean, I'm being really TMI, but that's just where I'm at right now. So because I haven't had any symptoms and then I had the bleeding, I got really, really scared in that moment, because at least with James, I was sick as a dog by the time I had my bleed. Like, I knew something was going on in there, but I just got really, really worried. I emailed my nurse and I told her exactly what had happened. And about an hour later, she called me and she was like, don't panic, we can't move your ultrasound up. It's like as early as it can be already. But what we can do is we can bring you in for one more beta and just make sure that the pregnancy is still progressing, for your own peace of mind and also for us, because the clinic is monitoring me so closely because of my history. So the last beta I had was the Friday before, and it was something in the 1200s. And so this was on a Tuesday, so it would have been 4 days, 2 doubling times. And I did the math and I figured out that the goal number that we wanted to see was 4,800. But I also read online that once you hit 1,200, then numbers don't necessarily double every 2 days anymore. They can double up to like every 3 days and still be in the completely healthy, normal range. So I was thinking like 4,800 is my dream number, but if she calls and it's like 4,300 or 4,500, like I'm not gonna let myself freak out, even though I totally would have. But this was like me, hyping myself up for this call. I went in, I had my blood work. I had to wait for hours and hours for her to call me with the results. I was so scared that day. And she finally called me and she told me that my beta was at a 6,200. So we wanted 4,800 was like best case scenario, and it was at 6,200, which was just amazing. Like, I just started sobbing, crying on the phone to her. I felt a huge weight lifted off my shoulder, and she said, clearly your pregnancy isn't slowing down at this point. You don't have to worry that it's the start of a miscarriage. It might just be that the embryo is attaching itself stronger, burrowing in. The fact that it's the same week it happened with James, only 3 days sooner, makes me think it was the same process of whatever's happening in my uterus is like a good thing. So that was the beginning of the week. Now I just have to wait for my ultrasound. I'm so nervous because I just am. Like, I was feeling so good up until this bleed or spotting, and now I just feel, even with the beta, which was such a good number, I just feel nervous all of a sudden. Like, I wish I could get in sooner and have an ultrasound, but I know that the day that it's scheduled is like the earliest that they can do. I haven't had any symptoms yet this week. I'm technically at 6 weeks already because this is my 5-week update, and I don't have symptoms. Today I'm feeling a bit weird, but I haven't had any symptoms, and that's crazy because with James, I was so sick by this point. I was already on prescription nausea medication, and with my January loss, I had zombie fatigue like crazy by now. So I just feel like is something wrong? Is that why like I'm not feeling it? I don't know. I've been feeling so good, but this week shook me a little bit and brought me a little bit back to earth. I'm not as anxious as I was with my last 2 pregnancies. I don't have this feeling of doom. I feel like if I close my eyes and really take a good deep look at my intuition, I still feel like this baby's gonna be okay. And I really don't want to jinx anything by saying that, knock on wood, but I just don't feel the same as I did, but the spotting scared me. So my ultrasound is on Monday, my 6-week ultrasound. I'm so excited. It's the weekend now, and I am so ready. Like, I am counting down the hours until that scan because I just want to make sure that everything's okay. But yeah, I will see you guys next week. Hopefully I'll have great news that the ultrasound was good, and hopefully it won't be like an inconclusive result or something, because that's just gonna make me spiral. But anyway, yeah. Overall, no symptoms, feeling fine, a little nervous over the spotting, and that's my update for the week. I will see you guys with my next update. Goodbye.